Listen, it is always a pleasure to have you here to talk about The Chosen, which is a great piece. And so that you know, this is something that is for everyone, not just for one group, it's for all groups.
It's a very serious story, and a very important one. I wish people would follow Jesus and his sandals the way you said, and and not vilify poor people in this country, which is going on everywhere.
I'm a Christian, but I actually read that about 30% of your audience is not religiously affiliated.
That's right.
What do you think draws them in?
What was it like going on The View? Because I would imagine you would have thought, oh, could be a minefield.
Please welcome back Jonathan Roumie. Jonathan, season 5 is about to begin. It just keeps growing. The show is just remarkable that way. There's also an animated spin-off. Last year there was a Chosen Con, and there's a great possibility that it could reach 1 billion viewers. People tell you all the time how much the show means to you. We've had this conversation. Can you talk a little bit about how you take care of yourself in order to be the person people would like you to be and also stay who you are?
Yeah, I think for me it really comes down to making sure that I'm right in my own relationship with God. Mm-hmm. And for me that means acting out my faith, practicing my faith, and then trying to live at times very difficultly by the modicums of how to approach life that Jesus taught. Mm-hmm. Like he set a really high bar, and it's not easy to follow in his footsteps or his sandal steps. But I try my best, and I try to be present with people when I encounter them on the streets, and even if it's at an inconvenient time or they're asking something of me and want me to do something, whether it's baptize their babies or marry couples, or in the one case hear a confession. I said, no, leave that in the confessional booth. That's not for me. I play the high priest, but I am not a priest. So, just really trying to remember to have grace with all those encounters.
This season of the
Amazing. I totally get it. He's a famous person, so he's gonna try to be nice as much as possible, even if it's out of inconvenience. And they're gonna confess their sins to him. That is not how you do it, guys. Your sins should be only confessed to God, so he can forgive you for them. And it's a grace and understanding people. And when you truly understand people, you will have grace with them, no matter what they do to you, no matter what name they call you, no matter what they do to you. And for me, I wouldn't do anything out of my inconvenience, because you really can't help anyone. And people only want to be in your presence because you're famous. If you weren't famous, would that be the same? You just need to live like how Jesus did when he was on earth. People will come to you. And that's the time you need to have grace with them. Don't go and force yourself onto people, especially preaching the gospel, because that will push them away. That's already been done in the Bible. It's already been done. Right? Let's continue.
Chosen focuses on Holy Week, the Last Supper, and the events leading up to the crucifixion. And I'm a fan of this show. I'm a Christian, but I actually read that about 30% of your audience is not religiously affiliated.
That's right.
What do you think draws them in?
Great story. I mean,
It's the greatest story of all time.
The greatest story ever told, and hopefully, for us, told well, and in a way that is comparable to any other.
I didn't know this was a series. I might tune in, because why not, right?
Cinematic expression or television shows that are out there, and yeah.
Yeah. Well, the last time you were here,
Didn't they wanted to use a woman to play Black Jesus? Bruh, that's crazy. That's the most craziest thing I've ever heard in my life. Jesus was a woman? That's just insane. But guess what? We're making women leaders, which is insanely crazy. They will destroy society. We're seeing it happening right now. You may not like it, but it's not my words. It's a word from God that is in the Bible.
You said, quote, there's always more to learn about Jesus. What have you learned about him while playing him, and how has it changed your relationship with him?
But I have a lot more to learn about him. It's a lifelong journey, you know. No matter where you are in the journey of faith, whether it's you just getting familiar with the Bible or you've been a lifelong student for decades, there's so much to learn. There's so much to be able to live out in your life.
Just want to make something really clear. The Bible is not God. And I hear a lot of people talk about the Bible and they give you scriptures and they tell you this and they tell that. There are letters for you to read to see what was happening then, and it's not for you to hold on to. It's just for you to read. So maybe you will have some understanding and see what's happening in the world, what's still happening back then. But God is within you. Christ is in you. And the actual word is inside of you. Because Christ is inside of you. Just so you know that.
In trying to reach those ideals,
God is not the Bible.
reach that bar that he set. And as you do so, just the doing, just the trying of that makes you better as a person, as a human, as a member, a productive member, hopefully, of society, in a way that you build community, you foster love, you engender hope in people. And that's what I try to do.
Yeah, sorry.
Let me know in the comment section, for all of you that's going to be watching this video, what is love? Let me know what you think love is, because this word gets thrown around a lot of time. It's been described in the Bible, but let me know what you think love is.
Serious story. Very serious. Yeah, it's a very serious story. Very serious story. And very, very important one. I wish people would follow Jesus and his sandals the way you said. And not, vilify poor people in this country, which is going on everywhere.
What?
But let's switch it a little bit, because you also played comedy. You did the Mindy Project, The Good Wife, which was pretty funny too,
What does she mean
in its
by
own
that?
way. What's your next move?
So this fall, I'll be doing a romantic comedy alongside Kevin James. A movie called Solo Mio. It's a whole different side of me for audiences. I'm clean shaven for starters, so it might be a shock to some people. In fact, I'd seen a meme, I think I posted a picture clean shaven, and somebody posted a meme and said, "Please grow your beard back." They were very unsettled by seeing me clean shaven. They're like, "Oh, yeah."
Jesus, it's really hard to go back.
He's hard to top.
Yeah.
He's hard to top.
It's crazy how she seemed to have enough of the conversation talking about Jesus and being a Christian, and she entirely derailed the conversation, but not before sort of throwing some political bait out and seeing how Jonathan would react. It really reminds me of the first time he went on The View, and we covered this in a previous video where Joy did the exact same thing. Have a look.
Do I have time to ask this question? Yeah. So, in the clip that we saw earlier, which shows Jesus speaking up for marginalized people, the poor, etc., which is the Jesus that we love, not everyone interprets that message the same way these days. Religion in this country even seems weaponized at times. As a man of deep faith, which you obviously are, does that frustrate you at all?
It's so funny. It's so funny. You should not interpret the Bible. It should just be revealed to you. You interpreting the Bible is putting your own understanding and will onto the word. That's from God. That's in the Bible. You should just read it and it will be revealed to you. But I cannot explain how it's going to be revealed to you. It's just something that happens. You don't think about it. You're just going about your day-to-day life, not thinking about God or in your thoughts or nothing. Just be in the presence with God, being conscious. And it'll just be revealed to you. That's it. But you're there interpreting the Bible, putting your own word in the Bible. But okay.
In that clip, we see Jesus basically taking to task the Pharisees that have essentially perverted the law or taken the faith and made it about the specificity in the letters of the law versus the heart of the law versus the community. You know, they were taking great pains to follow the law at the expense of the followers, and there was injustice in that. And you know, anytime you see injustice taking place, Jesus is not going to be happy about that. And so I think the fact that we see him speaking his mind about it, I think he gave us a really tough example to follow. You know.
Yeah.
Speaking his mind about it. Just speak the truth. That is love. No matter how you're going to feel about it, because emotions are... Who cares about your emotions? It's not real. It's fake. It's from the deceiver, the devil. Just say what is right. A lot of people may not like it, but that's actually love from God.
Yeah. You're
I
not
agree
on
with
that
you, yeah.
now. So I wanted to ask you, what was it like going on The View? Because I would imagine you would have thought, oh, it could be a minefield, but you seem to handle it. You did handle it really well.
Thank you. Yeah, you know, I think for a millisecond I was like, oh, I wonder how this is going to go. But I was never worried. I prayed about it, of course, and like everything else that I've committed to on this journey, I have to surrender it. It's like, Lord, you've given me this opportunity. I must be for a reason. So I'm not going to worry about the consequences. I'm not going to worry about anything. I'm just going to go authentically be who you made me to be and just be present to people. And the response was overwhelming. It was unexpected in many ways, and and especially for people watching the show, people were more nervous for me than I was nervous for me. I'm like, well, they're people. They're just people. And afterwards, after this segment, I had conversations with every one of the hosts, and they were lovely. And what I realized is there are so many people that are just on a journey. They're searching. They don't necessarily, they may not necessarily believe, they may not necessarily know what to expect, but they're searching, and they were open to what I was bringing to them through the Holy Spirit. And that's the main I gave rosaries to everybody, and they
Good for you.
they happily
How did
accepted
they take them? Yeah.
They happily accepted them.
What did Whoopi say?
She was great. She's met Pope Francis, I think, twice now. So we're neck and neck. So I gotta beat her. I gotta one up her. I gotta meet him a third time before she does, because otherwise that's it. My reputation is shot if she needs
Yeah.
it.
And do you prep for, like, what if they just try to corner me on some of the things the church teaches that are, heretical to secular dogma? Were you afraid that they might try to do that, and did you have a plan ahead of time, or?
I think like most interviews you go into, like, you hopefully have a conversation with the people that you're gonna talk to, or their producers, and just say, hey,
I see.
if
Yeah.
something comes, like, this is what we're
About. And we
hoping,
don't.
this is like what we're looking for. But it's a live show, and you just don't know. But I didn't worry about it. And Whoopi's been kind of a friend. She's become kind of a friend as well. And I think I felt, even before that, like, I felt like, I think it'll be fine. And then if something does come up, and there was some kind of a question that got a little bit tricky, but I try to answer with as much compassion and wisdom as the Lord allows me. I think you have to decide what platforms you're willing to discuss, knowing that anything and everything might come at you in the spur of the moment, and just try to be.
Just true. Everything and anything should come at you. You're a child of God. Everything came at Jesus. We're no different from Jesus. We're Jesus Christ's brother. He said we're going to do greater works than he did. So it's time for us to use our platform to actually do great work. Don't be shying away from any question. Don't be shying away from nothing. Go in the pit and wrestle with whatever be thrown at you. And speak it with truth. Speak it from the wisdom and being in the presence of God. No matter how people are going to feel about it, because Jesus didn't care about your feelings. He's doing the Lord's work. Who wants to hear it will hear it. But I kind of understand he has a job to do. He wants to, grow his career. So you can't really say certain things, which I would say it either way. I don't care. I'm doing the work of the Lord. I only need his approval. I don't care what no one else has to say about it.
Just try to really, what would Jesus do? Like the bracelets from the 80s and 90s and things that are like making a resurgence now, like it really is the phrase, it is the ultimate universal inroad into handling anything. Right. If you think about any situation, if you just ask yourself that question, okay, it kind of answers itself. Everything resolves itself if you know how to answer that question. The thing is knowing how to answer the question. Having a right mind, a right attitude, a proper and correlative, disposition to Jesus' heart. That has to necessarily inform your answer when you ask that question. Other than,
to be honest, when they ask Jesus who is him, and he says, "I and my Father are one," they crucify him, they call him names, they do things to him, and he stands his ground, no matter what people said to him, because he know that he's one with the Father. They just couldn't understand him, and they judged him, and they played God, and that was his role, to come in. It was already predicted, it was already prophesied for him to come and die for us. But you yourself, that is spreading the word, does not know that. Why you're spreading the word. You have no idea why. You're just on that journey. That's why you need to stay strong. Don't water down anything for no one. Don't water down anything to please anyone. Just say it what it is. People's feelings will get hurt, because society is based off feelings and how you make them feel. You think when Jesus was like, should I tell them like, this instead of this to make them feel good so they don't hurt me or do this to me? No, he didn't. He just said what he needed to say, and that was it. They may put their own word onto it because they don't understand it, and judge him and crucify him for it. But by not watering down anything that is in the Bible, that is said from God, and you're able to say it with the wisdom of God, it's amazing, because you don't need no one else's approval.
And this one, are there interviews you've regretted saying yes to? Have you done an interview where you're like, that went sideways? And second, to follow up on that, like, does The Chosen try to keep a rein on you? Because if you go on a show and you don't look, someone tries to make you look bad, or if you say something accidentally that was stupid, I guess that doesn't reflect well on the show. Do they keep a leash on you, as it were?
No, I think they trust me. They Dallas and I are friends for 10 years now. And they know my heart, and they know my skill, and they know my disposition. And I don't think that I would go into an interview if I knew somebody was specifically harsh for certain things to certain people. If somebody had a history of asking really awful questions to their guests, or really cornering them and things like that, well, then I probably won't do that show. Like, why tempt fate? Why give the devil an opportunity to dance? But I'm not afraid to talk to anybody that wants to sit with me. I think like anything, through civility and proper discourse, and we can have conversation. Let's just have a conversation.
It's his given right to do what he wants, right? Not really. You don't really have a free will. You only have the will of the devil or the will of the God. It's which one you choose to do. But Even if someone's gonna corner you, and I get it, don't, like God said when he sent the apostles to preach, he's like, listen, whoever don't want to hear what you have to say, just don't stay at their house, don't stay in that place, just leave. Go to who wants to hear it. I totally understand that. But if someone is inviting you and they're still harsh with their guests, still go. Because guess what? The will of the Father is actually going to help you to show the actual truth to what's really happening. And that will actually probably get more people to really look at that situation and be like, oh wow, that's a great example of how you should be, just like Jesus. If you're really with Christ, because you have to go through Christ to get to the Father, if you're really a living example of him, you wouldn't really fear anything, because it could actually be your destiny. Like Christ, you didn't fear nothing. You just went and did it. He sat with the Lord. He knows what his mission was, to carry out and die for us, da da da. Maybe you're supposed to go on a podcast where someone is crazy, so you can actually show people how it should be. But who knows? I'm just talking, right? But let me know what you think about that in the comment section. I'd love to hear your thoughts on that.
And this is great. I'm really excited to get to be here.
Yeah,
of course.
thank
Yeah, and I don't think I've done anything that I regret. No.
Yeah, praise God.
I'll just sit. Like I said, I
Well,
mean,
that's always like, is it specifically
Jesus went anywhere he was invited, right?
Yeah, but he was Jesus.
He was.
So, I mean,
But we all have Jesus within us.
Yeah,
We all have the Holy Spirit
that's
within
true.
us.
But the last time I overturned tables in the temple, people got pierced.
Uh-oh.
And I was like, Jesus. No. Would you go on Joe Rogan's show?
Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not like there's different, yeah.
No, and I mean, and I've
He's
seen.
becoming increasingly
He seems
positive
very interested
towards Christianity
curious.
these days. He seems like he's grown in this area, which we all really appreciate.
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
The question is, would he want to have me on his show?
Right.
That's for these people that we're kind of referring to, whoever they
Yeah,
are
these big
in that
man
space,
folks, yeah.
that might be hostile towards people, that have my beliefs. Would they even care to have me on? And if they care to have me on, well, why do they want me on? Is it just to try to make an example of me? Is it just to try to like pick on me? Because that's going to reveal itself pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And so I think as I think it'd be kind of cool to do certain shows. I don't care. Like, if somebody wants to chat with me, I'm happy to chat with them. If I can make it work, great. Let's have a dialogue, because inevitably I think God will reveal something in that conversation that somebody watching will pick up on, and maybe a word that they need to hear to further their own relationship or their journey, or even explore.
Amazing. I didn't know that's how that interview was gonna go. I've never watched that interview. So it's just interesting that he went on the same topic that I've just talked about, just before he's spoken about it now. But like I said, man, like, subscribe, let me know what you think of the video, put what you think in the comment section, and maybe we'll have a chat about it. See you in the next one.